Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to City Skylines. We still have our federal financial aid, I guess we could call it, or something along those lines, where we've been donated some cash that we can use to keep rebuilding the city, so that we're going to be using this just in today's episode, and then that's going to be it for our financial aid. Once we have rebuilt the infrastructure, not the actual buildings, not like the other buildings, we're not going to be adding anything extra in. We're simply rebuilding the basic infrastructure using this financial aid, and then the financial aid will come to a close. And unfortunately, the financial aid is in the form of a loan, which does mean that once we get going, the money will go back to how it was, and we may still be on minus 200,000 a week. But it will depend on how well our new DRU units can do. About the only thing that we've built new is some extra DRUs, some extra disaster response units. We've got a few of them that are around, and they're able to help us with reconstructing the city. So if we can get these things back up and running, we will then, once that is done, be able to hopefully have the rest of the city up and running as well. So we'll kind of have to nurse it along as we go through, but we'll at least have some basic infrastructure back in place that will keep the people alive long enough to be able to do anything else. I realize that there are some people who don't particularly like this approach, but the only other option, we did try some different things. We tried, like, deleting a load of buildings. We tried disabling buildings, and I tried removing the DRU so that all of the abandoned buildings got deleted. And literally the only thing that we can do in order to make that work properly with the amount of money that we had lost is to go through and completely remove most of the roads on the map in order to be able to start rebuilding properly. So we literally would have to start the entire map over from scratch, which is not something that I wanted to do. If we're going to have to start from scratch, I want to go to a new map. We've done this map. I'm happy to stay here on this map, and we can keep building the city, but I don't want to go back over and do this exact same map again. So that is why I've chosen the route that I chose. And we are going to... This is only in the form of a loan. We're borrowing this money. Once this mod here that gives us unlimited cash is disabled, it actually takes into account all the money we've spent while it was active, and it adds that on to the total that we had. So we do go back to being millions in the hole, and we're going to have to work our way out. But I just feel that this is giving us a fighting chance. You know, this sort of federal grant, or not grant, just a bit of financial aid from the state, essentially, to just kickstart the rebuilding of everything that is going on here. So I'm hoping that everybody is happy with this and happy with my reasoning behind it. We want to keep going. Just going around and making sure that I've rebuilt all of the ones that we can rebuild at the moment. So I'm looking for all of those orange signs everywhere that show something that can be rebuilt. Like that one there. The bouncy castle parks. It's very important that we get our bouncy castle parks back up online, because the people just can't cope without them. Medical clinic there. Possibly more important than the bouncy castle park. And we've got a crematorium. We've got a post office as well. And I suppose the crematorium is kind of important. You know, before that large wave of poop swept across the city, we had a population of about 200,000 people. That went down to 12. So the crematoriums could be busy. Just saying. That's all. I'm hoping that a lot of them escaped. I'm hoping, really hoping, a lot of those people just managed to get out. That's all. That's all we can hope for, really. We got minus 228,000 at the moment. However, we are getting all of these things rebuilt. They're coming back up online, and I feel that this is making a big difference. Because we're getting the actual facilities and the infrastructure in place to look after the people as things are rebuilt, it means that they're better able to cope and they're going to rebuild faster. We're up to 27,000 people. As soon as I finish going around and rebuilding the rest of the stuff that can be rebuilt here, I'm going to put time back up to cycling through much faster like we normally have it on. I think that's most of it. Got a fire happening over here. Hopefully it's just a small fire and they're able to deal with it. What do we got over here? Oh, we've got a station that can be rebuilt. That'll keep some of them happy. 27,000 people still. I've got a little bit of power over there. And then the valley here is now starting to dry out, and is starting to dry out quite nicely as well. Rebuild that one. The pit in here will soon be ready for rebuilding. Rebuild the high school. It's now been searched for survivors. Another high school over there. Crematorium. Oh, and one over here. Skate park. Yeah, that one's really high on the priority list. Right. Let's speed things up again, and hopefully we can get through everything that we need to get through. And then we'll go through, and then we can actually start, like, the bigger tasks of rebuilding. We got another one down there, look. Right there, that's the school. And then there's a couple over here. We got locomotive halls and official park. And then... Right, well, I can just kind of keep zoomed out a little bit more now. We've got park with trees there. We've got all of those over there in Nigel Pipe. There's quite a few of them. But then, oh, we've got a crematorium here. A lot of these over this side, we've got a lot of these buildings now have actually been dealt with. We're not having to worry about these because we've got some DRUs over here. So most of this stuff now is just kind of like the smaller stuff. Get some of these monorails rebuilt. We're going to try changing the monorails in the future. We're now running out of power. I've got 28,000 people. We got a whole load of our infrastructure back up online. And we're starting to get periodic power cuts because we don't have the power available. They haven't gone through and sorted out all of these. And I've got several of those there. So... this is something that we're actually going to be waiting on quite a bit now, is the power to come back. Because that power is... we can't rely entirely on the dam. The dam doesn't provide enough power for the entire city. And it fluctuates a bit. So we get 240 megawatts from that. We got 400... we're 100 megawatts short. Well, actually, look, see, that's the fluctuation you get because of the dam. Right there. So we desperately, desperately need some of these to be searched for survivors. If the DRU can get up here and search some of these power plants up here for survivors, we'll then be able to get power. But until that happens, we're now on periodic power cuts, which is really not going to help the situation at all. This isn't going to help anything at all. I was wondering if there's anything I can do about this. Shutting stuff down does help with it. There, I've got the cemetery. That one's being searched right now. I've got these helicopters going everywhere, so they're going to random points. But because I don't have a DRU over this side, they're, yeah, I'm going to leave that cemetery for a minute. The DRU, because I don't have one over this side, they're not doing anything with that. 29,000 people. Slowly, as the people come back in, we're getting the demand for, electricity is going up, but we still don't have the necessary, what it calls, the necessary power plants. We desperately need these power plants. I mean, we've got the incineration ones. That's all been done. Nope, it's all on power now. I suppose, actually, the incineration plants might help. These have all been searched for survivors. They're all underwater. They've gone through scuba gear, and they've searched all of them for survivors. But they're not coming over... Look, they've gone there. They've rebuilt that... They've searched the police headquarters. I need you to just come over to some of these. Look, that one right there is producing 160 megawatts of power. I could really do with 160 megawatts of power over on this side. If anybody at all could just come over here. One of those... We've got lots of helicopters. There are a lot of them flying around. They don't seem to have their priorities right at the moment. Look, there he is. Can I, like, persuade you? Can I order you? Disaster response helicopter. Go over there. Seriously, like, go over there. Nope. Nope, it's just giving me a nothing. I've got nothing at all. All we can do is wait and hope that they will go over. Look, I'll tell you what. Where's he going? Where's he going? He's heading... Oh, no, he's heading across the bay over here. So he's going over to these structures over this side. Is he going to head down there towards that power? There are some actual vehicles there as well. No, he's coming down in here. And they're doing that. I really need you to get our power plants online. Look, I love the way that they come down and you do actually see the guys go out of the helicopter, go in and search. That is quite cool. Which way is he going now? I think he's going... Oh, no, where's he going? Oh, no, he's sort of following the contours there. Is he going to go to this one? Please go to this one. Please stop next to that one. I'm begging you. Don't make me beg. No, he's not going to that one. He's coming over here. He's actually landing under the water. Okay, very clever helicopters. We've got more and more of these structures here getting ready for being rebuilt. But we don't want to do that. He's heading over that way. Still nothing over here. Ooh! Seriously, you were across the road from it. It was right there, the eco-friendly company. I'm watching a swarm of helicopters working around here. They keep coming down here towards all of this land down here. There's more of them over there. Look, see, they're swarming around inside the valley at the moment. I'm hoping that one of them will swarm up here and get one of these. But I'm wondering if they're doing this in the order that all of these buildings collapsed. And I think these collapsed a little bit later because they were bigger structures. So they managed to hold out for just a little bit longer before they collapsed. In which case, we could have to wait a bit longer. I'm not sure about that. I mean, I don't really know at the moment. Just kind of watching, mesmerized as they go along and they work through all of these structures down here. Couple of them working right there. It's drying out down here. Smoodelini has nearly been completely dried out. Drying out faster and faster as time goes on. These helicopters are both lifting off and they're going in the wrong way. I was hoping that one of them would come up here. But no. No. There doesn't seem to be any pattern to this madness. But mind you, they are sort of starting to work over this way more. I'm seeing more of them heading in this direction. So maybe these guys who are working here, they're busy doing their searching and everything. Maybe, just maybe, they'll move over a little bit further. Nothing yet. Ooh, I got one over here. Solar power plant ready for rebuild. Has that one been there for like ages and I've completely missed it? Probably has. So we've now got consumption 673, production 930. Why have we got 930 on production? I'm worried about that. Have I suddenly had like a massive surge on the dam? Surges on the dam make me very worried, right? There's 480 on the dam. It might be that because I'm starting to get some more trash up here. These guys are... Yeah, look, see, we've got garbage reserves up here. Oh, power output 0. 4. 8. 0. Power output on those stations up there is rather minimal. Not getting much in the way of power output. I will rebuild a load of these here so that we can rebuild that grain silo there. Rebuild the police station there. We want to get all of these rebuilt up here so that we've got more area for production of various different items, which will hopefully help to start offsetting some of our costs. I don't know how long it's going to be before we've like properly offset a load of costs, but we got loads more stuff that we can rebuild. So I'm going to go around now. I'm going to ignore the power situation for a bit, and I'm just going to quickly run through try and rebuild everything that I can to add back in this all-important infrastructure. Remember, the financial aid is only available for now, for today. After today, the financial aid will no longer be available, and we are on our own once more. So anything that hasn't been done by that point is not going to get done for a while, because we've obviously got the money that we got to take care of. And, like, the massive, obscene, utterly obscene amounts of debt that we've got to take care of. So, we've got an awful lot of it. There's another one. We've got this one chance right now. This is all we got. It's just one chance. Rebuild you. And then we come over here. So we've got a school right there. Schooling is important. The new population that is moving in is very important. Right there, police headquarters. Now, I do have there... Oh, that's the meteorite park. No. Cooper residence. There, end-of-line cable car stop. We'll join that one in once that one's been rebuilt. This one over here, I need to join that one back in as well. That one is ready to roll. I could actually join that in a minute. We will join that back, because that's basically just replacing existing infrastructure. It's not been repaired over this side yet, but it is something we need to do. We've had another one of these searched for survivors. That is brilliant, which is very good. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Take that off. Rebuild. Production is now higher than consumption. This is perfect. This is what we want. None of these others are ready yet, but at the moment, production is just higher than consumption. That's brilliant. We're now actually making some reasonable progress. We've got an elementary school in there. And we've got right there a post office. Some of this is still underwater. Have we now got the road maintenance lot? There was a load over here where... No, it's not that one. That's the cemetery. I will rebuild that one. And taxi stand over there. No, I had a different structure, didn't I? That was, like, used for going... The tankers would go round and they clear... It was over here, wasn't it? Wasn't it over here? Ah, on the road pumping service. On the roads pumping service right there. The pumping service hasn't yet been resurrected. And I'm thinking that the pumping service will actually help to clear some of the water. We can't build a new one. That goes against our set rules. We're only allowed to restore infrastructure now. We've spent out for new DRUs, disaster response units. But we cannot spend out on anything else. Look at the way that this is rebuilding over here. This is fantastic. This is absolutely awesome. Police helicopter depot right there. I've got more buildings over here that can be rebuilt. We've got a post office. We've got... There was another one there I seen that had the rebuild symbol on it, didn't it? Have I just seen one with a rebuild symbol? I am wondering if some of the ones that get the rebuild symbol then are being demolished, or if they collapse or something. And then it doesn't work. Like, they no longer count. I don't think so. Like, here I've got police headquarters. I don't think that happens. I think that it might just be like a visual glitch that I'm getting. Zoom out there like that. I can see several of these items now. It might just be that they weren't showing up properly. So I rebuild that one there. And then I got one all the way over here that I can rebuild. Another school. And I'm pretty sure I seen another one in here somewhere. Didn't I? Did I see... There. There. I knew I seen something else. Post office right there, and right next to it I got dog park. Well, at least it keep the people happy. They'll have somewhere to walk their dogs once they've rebuilt their homes from all the ruins. We've got something right there. That's another post office. Any more? Anything else down here? Nothing there at the moment. And nothing over there. Got a few of them over this way. Look, I got 4 items over there. There's a crematorium there. I've got one down here. There's another few over here. We've got another crematorium there. And another crematorium over there. We don't have a shortage of crematoriums. We've now got 40,000 people moved back into our city. Production of electricity is at 940 megawatts. That's really good, actually. It's absolutely brilliant that it's sort of building up like this. The riding stable, another very important feature. People just can't do without their riding stables. And there we've got the Brandenburg Gate. We've got the firehouse. We've got another taxi stand right there. It's all going to help. All of this is going to help keep the people going. Boat museum there. I don't know where we'd be without our boat museum. That was obviously one of the first. Obviously much more important to go and search the boat museum for survivors and get it rebuilt, get it ready for rebuilding before worrying about, you know, minor details like electricity and things like that. Because, you know, that's only the power supply that keeps everybody alive and keeps the hospitals running and stuff. Whereas, you know, the riding stables and things like that, much more important. Much more important. You've got to have your riding stables. Recycling center. I think that does that produce power, or does it just no, it produces raw materials though. Right, let's have a look down here. Can I rebuild this yet? I got the Japanese garden, but that's partially submerged. Building is flooding. So that one may end up collapsing again. We may have some problems with that. Probably best not to rebuild anything under the water. But we'll go up through the valley now, and we'll have a look, and we'll see if there's anything here that can be rebuilt in the valley. We've got one there, look. Firehouse. Right on the very edge of the water. This one here is still going to be underwater. Carry on up through the valley. A little bit more. Nothing up there. That one there, see, it's close. We've mostly emptied it all out now. Well, I say we've emptied it. It's mostly drained out. If we can get that one going, the on-the-road pumping service, if they'll come and search that one, they'll start going in and draining some of that excess water out as well. That will actually prove to be rather useful. All of these are still underwater, so we're not getting much help from there at the moment. And it's looking more and more like we've got most of the infrastructure back up and running now. Yet another crematorium. How many crematoriums have I built in this city? I'm starting to wonder if I was a bit excessive with the number of crematoriums that I built here. It really does. I am genuinely wondering if I went maybe a smidgen overboard with the crematoriums. Police headquarters up there. Then up here we've got a load of the oil storage facilities and some of the processing as well. Oil industry main building. And I got that one up there. I got a drilling rig over there. There we've got another train station. Okay, airports and things like that. They're not worrying about them. And we can go there to a medium crop field. And we can go there to a small crop field. That's dealt with. Now, I do have one question, which I'd like you to answer in the comment section today. Would you like me to do this again? I said that I wasn't going to. I said that this would be it for, like, slaughtering the whole city. But I mean, we build up the city. We build it up bigger. We go sort of basically as big as we possibly can. We've already restored our sewage works up the top. I can either carry on with the sewage works that we've got. We're going to have a look. I'm just going to quickly go through and rebuild the ones that we can right here in this little area down here, because it looks like we've got several buildings that can be rebuilt for a minute. See, there's none here. And we've got most of these. And you can see by the amount of traffic that is now going through, we're starting to... Everything is starting to come back to life. I'm on 46,000 people. Another one up there. Oh, there's another one over that side. The dog park. It is. It's all slowly coming back to life. Everything's coming back online. The people are moving back in. And the city is being restored. So, my thoughts are... We want to try I kind of want to try and do this again, but obviously let it advance a little bit further so that our city is properly rebuilt. Maybe see if we can get yet more people into the city, things like that. There's our big train station going back up now. But there's one or two things that I'd like to do a little bit differently. Well, actually, there's only one thing that I want to do differently that I think would make the difference between having to literally knock down the entire city and rebuild it all from scratch, which was our only other option for what we had. We wouldn't have been able to do rebuild this properly like this. We would literally have just been starting from scratch, which is not something that I wanted to do. There's all of our solar power plants going back online, or most of them, so now the power situation is no longer a problem. And a load of stuff over here. This is all looking pretty good. Okay, let's run back over to the airport over here. So nothing's changed over here yet. I still want to have a look over this side. The gully there is not changed. Where is it? Oh, it's that one there. That's the one I'm looking for. But that's not changed either. There's something up there. Oh no. That's one's down in there. We're searching over here. We're searching survivors. We've got Meteorite Park there. They're going to search, but they're not going to search that one yet, which is the one that I actually want. No, not the forest residents. It's that one over there, the end of line cable car. I could really do with them rebuilding that one. So there's the Meteorite one. If they could do the end of line cable car, we'd be able to get that long range one back up and running, back in place. Right, let's look at. I know there's one I've just left behind. We've still got a little bit of pollution up here. You can see already the amount of sewage that is now running through. We're now getting 705,000 cubic meters a week of sewage coming through. We're on 48,000 people. And that is starting to increase at a fairly rapid rate of knots. Which means it's already starting to fill up this valley. Yeah. We've got a slight dip over here, which is less of a dip than we did have previously. But this entire valley, it's going to take a while to fill this one up. It'll take a very long time. But this is all polluted in here now. We've got nothing clean in there now. That is getting cleaner and cleaner. And we do have our industrial. We've got like the cleaners down there. They're busy cleaning that through, which is going to take care of the rest of the pollution in this lake. It's going to take a little while, but it will eventually take care of it. Pipeline problems. Okay, I'm not sure why we've got pipeline problems. Let's have a look. That's more of a oh, wait a minute. That's where we got the pipeline problems. We've got to restore the pipelines back. When we had the earthquake over here, we had, apparently, some of our pipelines severed. So they've got to be restored. So I'll restore them back to how they were. That earthquake through there, that had some issues there. And then, where else did we have? We had a sinkhole turn up in Poorside over here, didn't we? This isn't Poorside. This is Poorside. Yeah, we had a sinkhole. That didn't affect the pipelines, though. Hopefully that has now taken care of the pipes. There's another one. The building for reconstruction. Another taxi stand. Right. Well, if they're searching taxi stands now for survivors, we must be doing fairly well. Taxi stands have got to be pretty low on the list of priorities, I would say. Rid of those over there. Yeah. So, my plan, my theory, is that we would have been able to do this if our DRU hadn't been destroyed. Right? It all hinged on the DRU. Once I built a different DRU, then everything was fine. And it all worked well. So what I'd like to do, before we do another disaster, if we are to do like another huge, great big disaster, like we had, what I'd want to do is I want to build a brand new DRU. And I want to put that one up here in the mountains. Right up on top of the mountain, out of the way, we put one DRU up on the mountain. And that would be kind of the crucial pipeline bit. That would allow... we can put a small industrial road up there into the mountain. That would hopefully allow the rest of the city to be rebuilt. Yes, it is a bit of a gamble only putting one. It would probably be more sensible to put two. Put one up on that mountain. Well, actually, maybe put one on that mountain there. And then one all the way over on that mountain over on that side of the city. So that should one be destroyed by a lightning storm or something like that, the other one has still got a chance of being able to start searching for survivors so that we can start rebuilding. We're still going to have the money problems, but we've at least got a chance if all of the infrastructure is, like, ready for rebuilding. It may give us a chance. It may. But it is, obviously, it's still down to the money. We are still... there's still major issues with the cash flow problems. And I do wonder if we would be able to get through that or not. I'm wondering still if we can get through it even now. Once I take off this money thing, I am wondering if we're going to be able to sort of work through these cash flow problems or not. Whether it's going to affect us still. We've got a university right there we can rebuild. See, everything is... we're slowly getting all of these different buildings being rebuilt. They're slowly coming back online. Everything we need in order to keep this city flowing. Except for that one. That one's just stubbornly refusing. Up through here now, this is all dried out. So we can now go up through this valley and rebuild the medical clinics and the police stations and everything else that needs to be rebuilt in order to keep everything running. I got two more down here. We've got a police station. We've got a crematorium down there. We've got there a medical clinic. Up that side, right there, another crematorium. What else have we got? Sort of looking down through this city here. Police station there. We've got a medical clinic. We've got a Japanese garden. All very important features. All needed. All essentials for the public life. Right, that's looking a lot better. So, finally, Smoodelini and Jeremy Hall have managed to dry out a bit. And the people in there can actually start rebuilding as well. We've got the infrastructure back up down in the bottom of that valley, or a lot of the infrastructure. We've got stations coming back online. We've got more and more of these power stations coming back as well. Look. Post-sorting facility. That one's back now. How are we doing over this side? This one's still saying that it's... oh, it's just collapsed. Just wondering if it's still got a flooded symbol there as well, so I am wondering about that, whether this going to stay flooded or not. That might need... whether that can be searched for survivors yet. Post office there. More and more of these houses over it. Look at all of these that are being rebuilt. This is absolutely fantastic. We haven't had... this one's still not come back online. And we've got the... we need the oppression office coming back. Brilliant. Yes, we wouldn't be without our oppression office. Fire watchtower right there and a firehouse right there can be rebuilt. And Nigel Pipe is one of the last ones that needs to be dried out. And that one's taken a while. Not enough electricity. Oh no. We do have electricity. It's just taking a while to all of it come back online. It is amazing just how many services that we've got. We're up to 55,000 people. Now, I've been told that my... one of the reasons that it's slow coming back is because I do have my tax rate set too high. The 12% is too much, and I'm being a little bit excessively greedy. I'm not sure about that. I'm actually happy to be excessively greedy, but maybe I should. Maybe I should lower it down. So, what we're going to do is we're going to drop our taxes down to 10%. Bit of disaster relief for our own citizens, 10% as opposed to 12%. And we'll see how that works. I thought 12% was alright, to be honest, but still. So we'll drop that down just a little bit, which means that we are going to lose a little bit of income, but I'm hoping that that will translate into lots more people moving back into the city much faster. And more population means more people to pay taxes, which overall is bound to be a good thing. I'm not liking the way that money is shot up. That's a little bit concerning. Rebuild the crematorium there. See, we've got a serious lack of jobs at the moment. Not a lack of jobs. We've got a serious lack of people filling jobs. That is a little bit of an issue for us. It seems to be that some of the industrial land and that is having a few problems sort of keeping going. Still, all of these houses being searched for survivors means that we're slowly getting there. There it is. At long last, the end-of-line cable car stop can be rebuilt. So I need to actually rebuild that one. I need to go there into this, and then I want to go to that cable car stop there. And you need to go to there, like that. So we've now rebuilt the end-of-line cable car stop, and then I need to put that... Why is that invalid shape? Invalid shape? It's... Oh, I know why. We've got to take it out onto this side, look. There. It goes to there. And then that one goes to there on that side. That's how it works. Right. That's that bit. We still haven't got this bit here, which cleans the roads. We don't really need it anymore. The roads have all been cleaned. And the end-of-line cable car stop over on this end still hasn't been searched for survivors. It is... not that one. Goods Unlimited. Fine Fashions. It's that one over there. That building right there has not yet been searched, so we can't bring it over this side, but we've got some of the rest of it done. I've got another building over there. Police station, ready to rebuild. How is the power situation? We're producing 2,000 and consuming 900. That's absolutely fine. Water consumption versus sewage is fine as well. We've got no issues there. We'll go over and we will double check the water over in the bay and just make sure that it's all looking pretty good over here, over by Hardships, and check for pollution levels. So another thing I want to do is I want to go around now and just double check the rivers, the water supplies and stuff like that for pollution levels, making sure that it... I mean, it is. It's absolutely fine. We got no issues here with pollution. We've got pollution there in the Nigel Pipe Pit, and that's it. We don't have any other pollution. There was a little bit of pollution coming from here, but even this seems to have mostly dried up. Or mostly, like, dissipated. We've got this pollution here. I don't know how long that's going to last, but I don't think it's going to be all that much longer. I think we are almost done. We can rebuild that one. Now, I'm wondering how much more we should do with the rebuilding here today, and how much we should kind of leave for the city to struggle with. This is going to be the really interesting bit, is when we switch back over in our next episode without the mod for, you know, that we're saying it is our disaster relief fund. When we've actually not got that available and we're then back on our own and we're having to repay the disaster relief money as well, what do we do then? How are we going to be able to... literally, we're just going to have to kind of wait and see, I think, for a lot of it. So this is why we want to get as much of this rebuilt now as we possibly can, because anything that we can't get rebuilt, next time, we're on our own. We can't rebuild anything at all. We are not going to be able to do any rebuilding. It's literally just not going to happen. I can't rebuild anything. I can't replace anything. If we get a lightning storm come through, we're going to be in serious trouble. We are really going to struggle with any kind of lightning storm or anything like that, because we're just not going to be able to replace all of the electric pylons. That is a bit of a concern for me, actually. There's no way that you can, like, borrow a little bit of extra money on top of a massive deficit. So the only thing we can do is work through the deficit. The deficit has got to be, like, taken care of. That's the only possible option. There is no other alternative. There's no way round it. Just got to work through that massive deficit. Oh, there we go. Another one. Lazarette Plaza. Oh, I got some more over here. I got Firehouse there. And we got one of those. Rebuild. Don't have enough power over here. But why don't I have enough power over here? Where's the power? Oh, that's because the power got... Power goes to there. Oh, I see. Power goes to there, and all of this here, I don't yet have power on any of that. I'm thinking that this bit here, what we ought to do is we should reconnect the power to this. Because, you know, in theory, you would... What you're doing is we're running out emergency cables, aren't we? We're running out emergency power supply over to here in order to be able to keep everything, get things online, so that they've got the necessary power that they need. And then we can delete the emergency cables later on. So I've got power over this way. That one doesn't have power. Need power to that bit right there. So we'll do that again. We'll have another emergency power cable. And this is stuff that we will delete. This is lines that we will actually be able to remove later. And I'll put that over to there. There we go. Now we've got power. That's running all the way over to this side. So that's running to these booths over here. I've got one booth there that needs rebuilding and two here. And I want those rebuilt. I really, really do. I want the helicopters to come over here and rebuild those before we leave, so that we've got our little system there for getting some extra cash as people as people drive into the city. We've got some of them redone. Some of them are able to, you know, get people coming back into the city. Like over here, those are back online. We got people paying to get in the city over there. 64,000 people. They are actually moving in faster now. That's a good thing. That's a very, very good thing. There's another piece. High school right there. And Nigel Pipe is almost at the point where he can be... We can have some of the trash supply being rebuilt. So I'm trying to look around and see where I've got anything that can be rebuilt. Because it's quite important that we get everything done that we can today. It's very difficult to sort of see. I've got now this just sea of icons, and I don't necessarily want all of these. I've got two more there that I need to deal with. I got that one and I got that one. I think that's it. For a minute. Just for a few moments. Brief bit of respite. I know that we do still have a lot more. We've got like the monorails. Most of the monorails are still down and not actually running. But right here, this is what I'm after. There, I've got an incineration plant there. And an incineration plant there. I've now got two of our incineration plants back up and running. I got another one over there that is almost able to be rebuilt. And we still don't have the flooding one. I want that one. That's another one that I'd like to have rebuilt before we stop. Except that I'm kind of running out of time now. Fire over there. We got a station there that can be rebuilt. Monorail station. We got another power supply there that can be rebuilt. And the cable car service is now up and running again. That's brilliant. I've got helicopters coming in here and just searching some of the last few houses over this side. Which I'm hoping means that they will come over and search this one for survivors again fairly soon as well. Because we've only got like 11% stored in there. There's nowhere else for them to go apart from the pit down here. So I'm hoping that they'll come over and they will start cleaning that pit out. And that's going to be like a long way towards helping us. We've got the McStallion YT Botanical Garden. Over here we've got... Oh, we've got the airport. There's one of the airports rebuilt. I've got an airport over here, but that one's not ready for rebuilding yet. And then we've got our main international airport as well. That one's also not ready for rebuilding, which is a bit of a shame. We're going to have some of our infrastructure is not able to be rebuilt yet. But I think we've now got a fairly comprehensive amount of infrastructure around that we can do something with. I just want this one. And I'm actually seriously considering removing that one and replacing it just so that we've got it, you know, we can say that it was rebuilt. I think we will. So this is On the Road's pumping service. I actually renamed that to On the Road, didn't I, before I started doing the... So I'm going to remove that one and we're going to rebuild a pumping service over here. Where is it? Is that underwater? Is that a system there? Pumping service, yes. Right, so I want the pumping service to go in right there like that. Get rid of you. So we got that one. That's now running. And we had... I renamed this one. This was one of the... So it's on... the road is one word like that. There we go. Right, on the road. On the roads. There we go. Right, on the roads pumping service. I will go back to renaming some of the other buildings as well. That's all I want to do for now. Okay, I'm going to slow this down, he says. Speeding it up. Slow this down. We're going to have a quick scan around to see if there are any more buildings. You're probably noticing some that I'm missing. But that's going to be it for what we rebuild. Any more of the infrastructure that we don't rebuild now is going to have to wait until we've got the money to rebuild it. Right, the houses, the people rebuild the houses themselves. So we don't need to worry about those. But any of the rest of the infrastructure, our federal funding, our government aid, has now run dry. And they've now decided that we're on our own 2 feet again. We've got 70,000 people back in the city. So they've now decided that we're able to cope, and it's down to us. I thought that I had another thing over here somewhere. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. But yeah, they've decided now that we are able to cope. We're able to manage this on our own. So they're no longer going to be helping us. We've got to now start finding the funding to do this all on our own, which is going to be a lot more difficult than what we're doing at the moment. Right? We've got some serious challenges ahead of us, but I feel that this has at least given us a fighting chance, standing back on our own 2 feet. Just getting these bits done here. And I'm running all the way through. I can see, actually, several of the rebuild icons over here. I got one there. I got another one over there. For school. I got another one over there, which is a park. That. And then I want to look through this way. I don't see any rebuild icons here. And I don't see any rebuild icons here. So these toll bridges, these are out. As we can't rebuild these toll bridges, what I'm going to do this a bit differently here. They've not been able to be replenished. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove them completely like that. And I'm going to put in an just ordinary highway. So that we've got the outside connection. I feel it's quite important to have the outside connection with the city. So I put that in like that. We've got our outside connection there. We've got power lines over to those. These don't have power lines, which means that they can't run. So I'm going to get rid of them as well. They're all going to go. And I'll replace those with bits of road. Yep, all of them gone because we can't afford to keep them. We're not putting power to them. We're not replacing them either at the moment. We'll come back through and we'll do that later. What we'll do at the moment is we'll just have a road so that we've got this outside connection and we can have people coming in. This is what we want. We want more people being able to access the city, and we've already got vehicles now starting to come in now that we've opened it up. This is what we need. We need people coming in. I've still got 4 on each side over here, so we're still going to be able to get them for a little bit of cash. But yeah, hopefully that's going to also aid the people moving back in. So anyway, that is all we got time for. So if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. Let's just go over this way very quickly. And I just want to check. I'm actually coming over here to Nigel Pipe. I want to see if we've got any more of these that we can put... Rebuild. Look, see? There they are. They are pumping this out. I'm going to rebuild these incineration plants here and hope that they can hold, right? Those 2 there have flooded, as has that one, but I'm hoping that they may be able to stick around long enough. That one there is completely underwater. Let's just do this. Let's do this. Let's rebuild all of them, even though they're completely underwater. Those 4. I'm not going to rebuild any more. That one is starting. That one's poking up above the water a bit. No. I won't rebuild any more. We're leaving the rest of them as they are. And I'm going to hope that the pumping service can just, like, help to resurrect those a little bit. But that's all I'm going to do. So, yep. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.